Hello! I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. This is going to be a very quick video. I want to show you something important that was changed in the No Man's Sky Abyss update. It is finally possible to get freighter warp upgrades. Now, freighter warp upgrades have not been available since No Man's Sky Next launched. They just left it out of being able to be obtained anywhere. You couldn't get it from manufacturing facilities, you couldn't buy it at NPC shops. It just wasn't possible to get the freighter warp upgrades. And I'm pretty sure now that it was just a mistake that Hello Games forgot to do it. I brought this up on discussion forums, I talked about it in live streams. Some people thought, oh, they're gonna add it as a reward later, or they got rid of it because it was something special that you only got if you had a legacy save. But no, it was still in the game. The data was still for it. It was still on our guide, and people who had legacy saves could still have the freighter warp upgrades if they obtained them before Next. But all new saves and everybody on Xbox could not get freighter warp upgrades. And even I talked to some people that were on Xbox and they thought that they were something that just hadn't been added to the game yet. That like they were planning to add freighter warp upgrades and they were going to add them later, but I knew of course that they were already in the game and they just forgot to give us a way to obtain them after the next update. So I did several bug reports to Hello Games about it very recently because I was getting very frustrated that after 3 months since Next they still hadn't fixed this. I had done a bug report very early on after Next and reported this, but nothing was ever done. So now I did it like 3 days in a row. I sent the same bug report 3 days in a row. And also when we got the survey just recently, I mentioned in one of the notes that, hey, are you aware that we still cannot obtain freighter warp upgrades? And they must have gotten the message. But the reason it's important I tell you this is because they made this fix without putting in the patch notes. They didn't make anyone aware. But I have Daniel Hipley to thank for letting me know about this. Daniel is another YouTuber that covers No Man's Sky, and he showed me this. So you can probably guess by now where we get it. We just buy it from here. So you go to the ship blueprint trader, and here they are: freighter warp reactor Sigma, Tau, and Theta. So they finally added them back in, and you can tell that they just added them back in because I'm on a 155-hour normal mode save and I have not gotten them yet. So I definitely would have noticed them if they had been here before, but they just got added back in the Abyss update. So that's pretty much it. We can finally obtain freighter warp upgrades, and I'm really happy because I now have a S rank freighter, and it would be very nice to have upgrades for it so that having an S rank hyperdrive would actually be useful. I named it the Heart of Gold. You can probably guess, well, some of you will get that reference. But anyway, that's enough rambling. So we can finally obtain freighter warp upgrades thanks to them finally adding them back in without telling us in the Abyss update. So that about does it. I have been Mac. Thank you for joining us for a day, or me for a day. And remember, everything is going to be okay.